Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I would like to show you how I would do detailed drawing of the parts of this mini blender. As you know, in standard engine drawing, we must produce a set of working drawing. A set of working drawing means that we must have assembly drawing followed by exploded drawing and followed by the detailed drawing of the parts of our product. As you can see in this list of bill of material, certain component they have a drawing number and certain component they don't have. The component or part that don't have the drawing number are the standard component, standard part, which is screw M1.5, flat coil spring, and screw M3.5. So it means these parts we don't manufacture them, we simply order them because they are standard components. Component that have the drawing number, it means it's meant to be manufactured. For the component or the part to be manufactured, they need a drawing to explain about the product. Alright, so in this video I would like to show you how I do the first one, the main one, the container. Since if we look in this BOM, the container is listed number 1 and the material is plastic and the drawing number is drawing number 1. So to do this detailed drawing of this container, okay, in the SolidWorks drawing file, okay, the easier way in my opinion is I simply add a document at the bottom here, add another sheet. I will click add sheet, so we have a blank with title block. Okay, this I can rename this sheet 7. I rename it, no, sorry, I mistakenly cancel, not delete. I can rename it container drawing. So this will be the container drawing. Okay, in order to do the detailed drawing, so we need to drag the view of our container file. So if I go to on the right here under view palette, so by default, if this is blank, sometimes it is blank because I've already loaded the container part. If not shown here, you must click at the browse here. You select the container part file and you click open, and under this menu we have all this view that we can drag into this container drawing. Okay, since this part is a container, is a cylindrical shape, the best orientation should be the front and the top view, because top and front view is kind of like can describe about the shape of the product, so we don't have to drag front, side and top. Okay, front and top view is good enough, so I drag the front view, then I drag it here, this will be the top view, and I drag it here, it will be the isometric view. Let me escape to cancel it. So this isometric view, I will drag it here and I will go for that for shaded mode. And if you look, okay, since this is the container have thickness, they have inside part, it's kind of hollow shape, hollow product. So the best orientation, this front view, I will delete it. So I will make it as a section view. So better to do this in section view. So in this top view, I will make a full section. Okay, before it, if I zoom in at this, top view, okay, if right click at it, okay, let me check the scale. Okay, the scale is, if I click at this viewport, if you look on the left here under the scale, by default is 1:2. If I go for 1:1, the scale is too big to be fitted into this A3 size, so I go back to 1:2, so the scale will be 1:2. Alright, before I forgot to do this, so you have to edit the title block. I bring here my mouse and I click edit sheet format, and you have to put a title here. Let me put the title here, is make sure it's in capital letter. This one will be the container. Hold on, what container? Alright, container, and here the material is plastic, and here drawing number 1, and here the scale that I use is half scale, and you have to put your name and your section to complete your title block. So let me click OK, and I exit this sheet format. So we are now back in drawing mode. Alright, okay, this top view, if you look here under this top view, we have a center mark already added by SolidWorks. I delete it, and this top view under display style, I go for hidden line. Since top view we need to show the hidden line. For the section view we don't have the hidden line. Okay, this one is the top view. I need to put a center mark here. To do that, under annotation we have center mark. Then I click at one of the circular edge here, so we have a center mark, and I can edit the length, make it a bit, hold on, edit this one to make it a little bit longer. And now I have the center mark of this top view. Alright, now what I will do section view. Okay, under to do section view, I go for drawing. We have section view, so I will go for horizontal section view and snap at the center here, and I click OK. Then I will drag down the section view to the bottom, so the front view is replaced by section view. Okay, before I go for that, if you look here, we have our cutting plane. Okay, if you look in my previous video which I did for the assembly drawing, we have a section view and we have a section line with section view. I have already changed the line type to ISO. By default, your SolidWorks, it will be American standard. The line type is not like this, so you have to change under option. Please look at my previous video how I changed this one to ISO type of cutting plane, cutting line. Okay, the label here I have to change to X, make sure it's capital letter. I just click OK, and let me click OK here. Then okay, now you can also edit the length of this cutting line. If I click this one and you right click, edit cutting line, and you can edit sketch, you can adjust the line, but I will not do that because the length that I already set it to proper length. Okay, just let me drag to this view, front view. Okay, in this front view we have a hatching line of our from this cutting line XX. Okay, before I edit that hatching line, I need to put a center line at this view. Okay, under annotation again, under center we have center line, so you can select the viewport, select view. I select the viewport, and SolidWorks will add a center line. Then and I click OK. Then I drag it. Hold on, I drag this line up like this, and this one I make it shorter. So I have a section line. Let me drag this label section X to the bottom here because I need to add dimension. This space will be where I put the dimension. Alright. Okay, let me save my file. Alright, the next thing is about the hatching line. If you look, click at the hatching line, I need to change it to, okay, I uncheck the material cross hatch. I will use the basic way, parallel lines, and I make it more dense by increase this number by 3, and I make the angle 45 degrees. So this will be proper hatching line for this container. Alright, now it's about the dimension. Okay, before I add the dimension, let me explain to you. Since this is a plastic product and this is a container, as I mentioned to you, the objective of engineering drawing, the main reason is that to be manufactured, and also to explain, is an engineering document to explain about the product, about the part. So in my opinion, this is a container and it is a plastic product. As you know, we make this container by SolidWorks part file, and it is a CAD file. Actually, to manufacture this container, this SolidWorks part file will be sent to CAM, Computer Aided Manufacturing Software, and that CAM software will translate the SolidWorks part file, which is the CAD file, and it will translate the CAD file into that CAM software will translate that CAD file, and it will send that data file to the CNC machine, Computer Numerical Control Machine. So this CNC machine will do, they have the toolings run by Computer Numerical Control, and it will do the tooling. They will make a metal mold, or what I said it is a die or a mold, female and female. So this mold will be used as a mold to be manufactured. They will use injection molding, either blow molding or something else, but basically it's an injection molding. So they will make a mass production on that. So in my opinion, for you to dimension this container, we don't have to do really detailed dimension, because if we do put detailed dimension, it kind like complex. I can show you that in the SolidWorks, if I select, for example, at this top view, if I click under Smart Dimension in the SolidWorks, we have option Auto Dimension. If I click at Auto Dimension, I just click OK, and I select the view here, and I use the basic setting here. If I click Apply, as you can see, SolidWorks will automatically put all the possible dimension that it can do, and you will put the dimension in this drawing. This is only the top view. Think about it, if you click another view for the front view, it kind of like so complex. So in my opinion, let me delete it. Since I cannot undo this, I have to delete. Let me pause this video, and I restart this dimensioning. Hold on. Okay, now I have deleted all the auto dimensions done by SolidWorks. Okay, now I want to explain to you how I will do a basic dimension. So as I have explained to you, since this product is a container, is a plastic product, so this product will be sent to CAM software. Our SolidWorks part file will send to CAM software, and that CAM software will translate into CNC machine, be sent to CNC machine, and CNC machine will make mold of it, and the mold will be sent to injection molding. They will use blow molding. So in my opinion, this detailed drawing of this container, we don't have to put really detailed dimension, unless if your parts of your component is not this plastic container. Let's think like your part is a metal parts, like a plate, like a metal bar, which means that your part will be manufactured by machinists. They will do drilling, they will do lasing or milling. So your drawing of that part, detailed drawing of that part, must be detailed, because the machinist really depends on your drawing to do to fabricate your parts for machining. So for this container, as I explained to you again, we don't have to put really detailed dimension. So in this video, I show you, we just put appropriate dimension, as long that this dimension that we put can really explain about the shape, basically can explain about this product, the container. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, now I just put a basic dimension. Okay, about the basic dimension, we need to put like the main height of this container. To do the dimension under the notation here, we have Smart Dimension. If I click at Smart Dimension, then I will select this top line, and I will do the height of this container, and I select at this line. If we look at SolidWorks, we have kind of like an icon here, a circular icon. I can go to the left side or to the right side. So it means I go to the left side. Then I click OK, then it will put the vertical dimension. But if you look at the setting here, our dimension tag is in horizontal. Okay, before I change that setting, the dimension tag, they have 2 decimal point. On the left here in the setting under tolerance precision, under here I will not go for 2 decimal point, I will go for none, so it put it 113. But this dimension text is horizontal. we need to change this dimension text to vertical when we do vertical dimensioning. To do that, under the option, if I click at the option, okay, under this setting here, I will not go for system option. I will click at document properties. If you click under dimension, we go for dimension. Under dimension, we have linear dimension. I go for linear dimension. Okay, the text position, if you in this menu, if you look in this menu, the text position by default you use this middle one, which means the text is horizontal. So I will go for the text is aligned text. If we do vertical dimension, the text will be vertical. If I click OK, if you look now, it changed the text to vertical. Alright, the next dimension I think that we should put for this container is the inner diameter here. Okay, if I do another dimension for this inner diameter, I select this line, position up until to this line, we have this icon. I will not go to the top side, I go put icon to the bottom side, then it will put 63 here. So I change the text here to none to make it not two decimal point. Then if I do another dimension, this one will be the bigger diameter. I click here, and icon here, I go to the bottom side, it goes to bottom one. I change this to none. So the diameter here is 75. Okay, another thing to mention is that if you use standard engine drawing, okay, SolidWorks will put automatically, since this is a step dimension, the level from your object to the first level of your dimension is SolidWorks put is kind of like too far. And also the step between the first step and the second step, the distance kind is not what we want. For standard engine drawing, as you know, the first level of your dimension should be at least 2 letter height. Since the letter height is 3, it should be at least 6. We change that the first level is 6 mm, and the second level to the first level should be at least 1 letter height, so mean at least 3. So we change 6 and 3. To do that setting, I click at the option again. If you go for the document properties under dimension here, you can check here under offset distance. So this will be your first level. Okay, this will be, sorry, the bottom one will be your first level. First level should be at least 2 letter heights. So I will put 6. The second level will be 3, at least 1 letter height. If I click OK, so then if you look, let me click OK, hold on. Then if you look, it's kind of like, if I do, let me refresh this dimensioning. If I do it again, let me delete this dimension. Let me delete this dimension. Okay, if I do dimension, if I go for this one to this line, I go for this side. If you look, automatically SolidWorks will put it more closer. It's kind of like 6 mm for the first level. If I do a second level, this dimension and this dimension, I use the icon here, SolidWorks will put that 3 mm distance. So this kind of like more appropriate. Let me change the text to none here, and also this one to none. Okay, let me save my file. Alright, I have put the 2 dimension here. Another basic dimension that I should put, let me check again here. I should put the level of the shaft. Okay, this distance dimension. I go for smart dimension. I select this line and this line. Okay, if I click the icon here, I put at the upper position. If you look, what will happen? SolidWorks will detect the closer object at the top side will be this line, so it put it 6 mm. So I think this is too far. So in this case, I can drag it down. You are allowed to put certain dimension inside the object. So this one I go for none, not 2 decimal points. So that will be the height of the distance of this gap. Another one is the dimension of this height of the shaft. I can select here, and also I can select even the vertex here. Hold on, I must do smart dimension. Hold on, I will select. I do smart dimension again. I will select. I can select beside line. I can select the vertex here and also the vertex here to describe. Okay, if you look here, we have the icon you have can go to, we have 4 segments, either top, bottom, left and right. So this one I will go to the right position. If I click OK, then I will do this one is none for not 2 decimal point. Automatically SolidWorks, as you can see, the dimension for the main height 113 is shifted to the second level, so the distance here remain 3 millimeter. So let me save again my file. So this will be our next dimension. So the other dimension will be the diameter of the shaft. Then I can put dimension here. I can click. So this is a top view. So I can click at this circle. This is the shaft. So we have icon here. I can go to this side, this quadrant. I will go for this quadrant. Then I click OK. So SolidWorks will put the dimension at this position. Let me drag a little bit closer like this. Okay, this will be dimension 5. We hold on, dimension 5 here. I make it not 2 decimal points. Click OK. So that will be our main diameter. Let me drag a little bit closer. And okay, at the top view, I need to show the main diameter of this container. If I want to do dimension and I click at this, if you remember when I do part modeling of this container, I have done a twisting effect. It means the properties of the circular edge of this container is gone. So what I need to do, since I have a sketch at these edges, I have make a circle in my previous part modeling. If under view here, I hide show and I on the sketch, there will be a sketch will be put here. So then I can do the dimension and I can select that sketch circular. Then I can go for this quadrant. Then let me drag this one a little bit. Okay, hold on. I can drag it like this. So this will be diameter. I make it like this. Okay, we can show the main diameter of the container. Okay, what else? Let me check again. Dimension that is really necessary for us to put in this container dimensioning is about the the height level of this, the 2 and also the 12, the height level of that thing. Okay, let me do that. So the height is 15 already. I already put height is 15, and the distance of the depth of this slot of this cutout here we have. I need to put the distance from this line, this point to this point, and I go for this side. So the distance is 3. Let me click OK. As you can see, automatically SolidWorks will shift all the next level of dimension. This one is supposed to be like this, and I can drag the text to this position. Right, so that will be my next dimension. And the next one will be, hold on, we don't have to put, as I mentioned to you again, we don't have to put really detailed dimension on this. Okay, another thing is about this dimension on this top parts here. So we have a groove here. So by the number of 4, so at least I put a dimension about the distance from the width of this groove. And okay, hold on, I do it again. When I do dimension of this groove, I select this point and this point. So I use this the icon just now, so it put to the appropriate level, and this one will be none, so we don't have 2 decimal point. And the next will be the distance of this, the depth of this cutout here. We have 5 here, and this one thickness 1.5. So I will dimension for this line to this line. Then I use the right icon here, so it will be 5. And another one, this the depth of here, this line and this line. I go for the right, then you go for 8. So then I go for not 2 decimal point here, and this one also not 2 decimal point. So let me drag the text. Let me drag the text to make it closer. Hold on. Okay, sometimes maybe my computer is running slow. I need to drag manually like this, okay, to put the text. Alright, now I have the dimension for this part, and also if you look here, and I need to dimension the thickness of the wall. The 43 is there already. The thickness of the wall is 2, so it means this thickness here, dimension for this line. Okay, I need to click dimension. Okay, since as I mentioned to you, this container I have done twisting effect. We have lost the property of this vertical line. But I can select this vertex point, and also that vertex point I put the up. I click at the yellow upper parts, and we have 1.5. As you can see, it maintains the same number of this dimension 43. This one will be not 2 decimal, at least 1 decimal point. Do not put, if you have 1.50, if you put to none, so you will go for 2. Be careful about it. If 1.5, you go for 1 decimal point. Okay, all right. Then will be, okay, another thing I need to mention to you, all the dimension, if you can see here, this is the dimension line, and this one is the distance, the extension beyond dimension line. But if you look, the extension beyond the dimension line is kind of like too long. I can change the setting here under the option again. If you go for under document properties, under dimension, if you look here at this setting, extension lines, okay, the gap here is 1.27. The gap means this one, the gap is between the object and your extension line. I think the gap also too far. The gap in standard engineering should be 1 millimeter. And beyond dimension line, it means, beyond dimension line means this is your dimension line, so this is the distance of your extension beyond dimension line. So the default SolidWorks code is 3.17. That's why we look, it is too long. So we need to make shorter. Basically, it's 1 millimeter. And I click OK. Hold on. If I click OK, okay, SolidWorks will change it. Okay, now our dimension, yeah, the distance beyond dimension line is shorter to 1 millimeter, and also the distance of the gap here is 1 millimeter. So everything's are changed. All right, so let me save my file. So another thing to add for this, let me check again. For this, we have 5 there. We have I already put 8 is the distance of this cutting. 5, we have the thickness here is 1.5. What about the main thickness of the wall here? It's not showing. And also the diameter here, diameter of this cutting. I put dimension for this part, and hold on, and this part. I click at that, and I go for the icon. I put the upper parts. So as you can see, SolidWorks automatically put the second level. The distance between this dimension line is 3 millimeter, 1 letter height. So this one I go for not to the decimal point, so 1 to 2. All right. Another thing is I already put there here. Since we know 1 to 2, the thickness here is the thickness is 1.5. What about, so this is 1 to 2, so I will give the main thickness. Another thing that I should put is the main thickness from this point to this point. So I use this cursor and it put the 2 into this position. Okay, sometimes SolidWorks cannot put it into, okay, since the rule of dimensioning, extension line cannot cut the dimension line, so this is not the correct position for me to put dimension 2. Let me click OK first. So the 2 should be put somewhere around here. I hope you understand. This is about standard engineering. If I put it here, the extension line will cut the dimension line. So I have to put somewhere at this position. So this will be my dimension 2. I click it to none. Okay, another thing that I forgot to add dimension is about, since we have a 4 groove pattern. If you look this isometric view, we have a cutout, a groove. We have 4 circular pattern. I think I've already added the dimension about the width of the groove. About the level of this groove, I have not put the dimension yet, so I go for smart dimension. Here, then I go for this point to this bottom level here at this point. Then if I go for this position, then it will put automatically, SolidWorks will shift all the step dimension here in the right position. If you look here, the is 2.103.59. Just to remind you, if you click at the text, do not change it to none, so it will go to the wrong reading of your dimension. If it's 2 decimal point, go for 2 decimal points, so it accurately 103.59. Okay, another dimension that I should add here is, if you look here, we have a features of a key here in this container. So I think we should put the length of this key, and I can put a smart dimension here from this line to this line. Hold on, I need to click at the smart dimension from this line to this line, and I go for this bottom portion, and it is 6 there. Then I change it to none. So this would be the length of this key. And also let me put this dimension, then I will put 1.5 around here, so this will be the thickness of the key, and I go for the thickness is it is 1 decimal point. Then I click OK. So let me put it somewhere. The text is here. Okay, that's something that we could show the size of this key, of this container. And since we have 3 key here, so I will put extra note, and let me put a note here. Kind like a leader here. Hold on, let me zoom it, become point. Okay, it should be arrowhead. Since this is not balloons, it should be arrowhead. And I put a labeling here. It should be capital letter. Number of key is 3. So I think that would do it. So kind of like we have a little some description that we have 3 keys here, right? So we have, and the level of the key, if you look here in the front view, I also need to put a dimension here from this line to this point, and I put here. So let me click OK. So Solidworks will put the level of my 1.5 into this level. Then let me drag it this as long as in line with this, the first level. Hold on, let me drag something like this to the position of the first level. Okay, this would be the dimension 1.5, and let me drag the text to this position. But as long the extension line is not cutting the dimension line, is okay, right? And okay, another last thing is about the we have since we have a groove cut out here, a groove here, the number of groove is 4, and I need to put extra notes here again. I put it number of groove is 4. At least this can describe the features of this container. We have a groove of 4. Alright, I think that's about it. And alright, and one last thing, I need to move this label section X to the center. And I think the last thing to check is okay, make sure that your title block is completed. Title, container, material, plastic. drawing number 1, scale 1, 2, and your name must be there in your section. Okay, another thing is to mention, please take note on this, this is very important, about the symbol of third angle projection. I think it's kind of like not a standard one, so it should be to the other side. Okay, let me edit. I right click at this, edit the, hold on, I bring to this title block, edit sheet format. Okay, if I click at this, if I click at this image here and I double click at it, so we have a setting here about the sketch picture. So I think this third angle symbol is kind of must be flipped to the other side. So we have an option here, we can flip horizontal. If I click flip horizontal, so now the symbol is right. So this kind standard symbol for third angle projection. Please take note on this. This is very important. So I edit this sheet, and let me check also the title block of my exploded drawing, and this one also need to be changed. All this for exploded drawing, the edit sheet format. Make sure that you double click at this, and the title block you shift flip to horizontal, click OK, then exit your sheet format. And also I must do to this assembly drawing as well. I edit sheet format, double click at this, flip horizontal, and alright, now my third angle projection symbol is right. I'm using the standard third angle projection symbol, and I go back to my container and let me save my drawing file. And you can save all these things of all your drawing in also in PDF. If I go for save as PDF, let me go for PDF file, and I go for my full assembly 1 PDF. Then when I click save, I replace the old one, and it will ask, I select all the sheets need to be exported as PDF, assembly exploded, and also my container drawing. Then I click OK. Okay, hold on. If I browse to where I save the file, hold on. Okay, if I browse where I save the file here, as you can see, we have the, let me zoom out, we have the assembly drawing, we have the exploded drawing, and we also have the detailed drawing of our casing. Alhamdulillah, I have completed my detailed drawing of my container, which is the component number 1, drawing number 1. So it's shown here, it's drawing number 1. Okay, I hope this video will assist you to do your detailed drawing of your casing of your Mini Blender project. If I have time, I will do the detailed drawing of the other components. Hopefully I will do that. But I also hope by looking at this video of how I did this detailed drawing of this container for my Mini Blender, this video will guide you. Use this video as a guidance for you to do detailed drawing for the other parts. Okay, I think that's all about this detailed drawing for this container. So selamat maju jaya. Before that, please do not forget to click like and subscribe my channel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.